The house was quiet. Too quiet. Liam sat in the living room, flipping through TV channels. Nothing good. He tossed the remote onto the couch. His parents were away for the weekend. It was just him and the eerie silence. He wandered through the house. Each footstep echoed in the stillness. Shadows stretched out from every corner as the sun dipped below the horizon. A shiver ran down Liam's spine. He wished his parents hadn't gone. Liam decided to try to forget about the unsettling quiet. He went to his room, grabbed his favorite comic book, and dove onto the bed. He tried to focus on the story, but the silence kept creeping in, wrapping around him like a cold, damp blanket. He sighed. Maybe he could just try to sleep through it. The weekend would be over before he knew it. His parents would be home, and everything would be back to normal. Liam closed his eyes, trying to block out the oppressive silence. That's when he heard it, a faint scraping sound. It was coming from the air vent above his bed. He opened his eyes and listened intently. Silence. Maybe it was just his imagination. He tried to relax again, but a moment later he heard it again. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It was definitely coming from the vent. His heart started to pound in his chest. What if it was a mouse or a rat? He'd heard horror stories about rodents getting into ventilation systems. He pulled his blanket tighter around him, his eyes glued to the vent. The scratching stopped. Just as Liam began to think the noises were over, a new sound sent shivers down his spine. Tap, tap, tap. It was a rhythmic tapping, slow and deliberate, like something was testing the vent's strength. Liam couldn't take it anymore. He had to know what was up there. He grabbed his flashlight from his nightstand and climbed out of bed. His hand trembled as he pointed the beam of light towards the vent. The scraping sound intensified, as if something inside was agitated by the sudden illumination. Liam's breath caught in his throat. He took a hesitant step closer, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. He stood beneath the vent, his fear battling with his curiosity. He knew he should just ignore it, pretend he didn't hear anything. But something, perhaps a morbid fascination, kept him rooted to the spot. Taking a deep breath, Liam pressed his ear against the cold metal. The tapping stopped, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to amplify his own racing heartbeat. He could hear something breathing, something close. The thing in the vent. The vent creaked. Liam jumped back. Two glowing eyes pierced through the darkness within. Cat-like eyes. They stared at him with an unnerving intensity. Then slowly something began to emerge. A hand, long, bony fingers with sharp claws scraped against the metal as it reached down. Liam watched in horrified fascination as the creature pulled itself further out of the vent. Its skin was pale, almost translucent, stretched tight over a skeletal frame. Tendrils of something dark and viscous dripped from its elongated limbs. The creature's eyes never left Liam, their gaze holding him captive in a web of terror. Liam stood frozen, unable to move, unable to scream. His mind struggled to comprehend what he was seeing. This couldn't be real, it couldn't be happening. It was like a scene ripped straight out of a nightmare. Into the abyss. The creature dropped from the vent, landing silently on the floor. It moved with an unsettling fluidity, its long limbs propelling it towards Liam with an unnatural speed. Liam stumbled back, his voice trapped in his throat. Before he could react, the creature lunged. Its claws dug into his arm, the grip surprisingly strong. Liam cried out as it dragged him towards the open vent. He thrashed and kicked, but the creature was too powerful. He caught a glimpse of his room, the posters on the walls, his desk, his bed, all fading away as he was pulled closer and closer to the darkness of the vent. Then everything went black. The only sound that remained was the echoing scrape of metal against metal as the creature retreated into the ventilation system, taking its terrified captive with it. Liam was gone.